Hari. Gopijana Vallabha Girivaradari. Gopijana Vallabha Girivaradari. Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana. Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana. Yamuna Tira Vanachari. Yamuna Tira Vanachari. Jaya Radha Madhava Punjabi Hari. Jaya Radha Madhava Punjabi Hari. Jaya Radha Madhava Punjabi Hari. Gaur Premanande. Jayam Vishnupad Paramahamsa Parivijakacharya Asto Talasutta Sri Srimad Divine Grace Sila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Jayam Vishnupad Paramahamsa Parivijakacharya Asto Talasutta Sri Srimad Divine Grace Sila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj Prabhupada Ki Jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Jai. Sri Namacharya Sila Haridas Thakur Ki Jai. Prayam Sekho Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai. Sri Radha Krishna Gopa Gopinath Shai Makund Radha Kungiri Govardhan Ki Jai. Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Grantha Raj Srimad Bhagavatam Ki Jai. Gaur Premanande. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories, all glories, all glories to Sri Guru and Sri Gauranga. Namo Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prastaya Bhutale Srimati Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namane Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pacharini Nirvisesha Sanyavadi Paschata Deshatarine. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So good morning, everyone. Thank you for coming to today's class in the beautiful Bhagavatam. We're in the 11th canto, chapter 7, text 46. Kvachit chana, kvachit spasta, upasyaha sreya ichatam, vumte sarvata trinam, dahan prag uttarasubham, kvavich chana kavit kvachit spasta, upasyaha sreya ichatam, vumte sarvatra datrinam, dahan praguttara subham, Kvachitanaha kvachit spasta. Upasyaha sreya ichatam. Bhunte sarvatra datrinam. Dehan pragutara subham. Mothers? Kvachit, sometimes. Jannaha, concealed. Kvachit, sometimes. Spastaha, manifest. Upasyaha, worshipable. Sreyaha, the highest good. Ichatam, by those desiring. Bhunte, he devours. Sarvatra, on all sides. Tatrinam, of those making offerings to him. Dahan, burning. Prak, previous. Uttara, and future. Ashubham, sinful reactions. Translation. A saintly person, just like fire, sometimes appears in a concealed form and at other times reveals himself. For the welfare of the conditioned souls who desire real happiness, a saintly person may accept the worshipable position of spiritual master. And thus, just like fire, he burns to ashes all the past and future sinful reactions of his worshippers by mercifully accepting their offerings. Purport. A saintly person prefers to conceal his exalted spiritual position, but to instruct the suffering people of the world, he sometimes reveals his own greatness. This is compared to a fire that sometimes burns unnoticed beneath the ashes and sometimes blazes openly. Just as fire devours the ghee and other offerings given to the performer by the performers of sacrifice, similarly, a saintly person accepts the praise offered by his conditioned followers, knowing that in fact all praise is meant for the Supreme Lord, Krishna. Although an ordinary person immediately becomes puffed up and foolish when he is praised, such inauspicious tendencies within a saintly person are burned to ashes by his attachment to the supreme, to the absolute truth. In this way, he is just like fire. Om Agyantamarindasya Gananjana Shalakaya Chakshur Unmilitam Jena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha Sri Chaitanya Mano Vishnam Stapitam Jena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadanti Swapadantikam Hey Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpati Gopesha Gopeka Kanta Radha Kanta Namostuti Tapta Kanchana Gourangi Radha Vrindavaneshwari Rishabhanustute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Vanchakalpa Tarubhyascha, Kripasindhupaevacha, Patitanam Pavanebhyo, Vaishnavebhyo, Namo Namaha. Once again, the verse translation. A saintly person, just like fire, sometimes appears in a concealed form, and at other times reveals himself. For the welfare of the conditioned souls who desire real happiness, a saintly person may accept the worshipful position of spiritual master. And thus, like fire, he burns to ashes all the past and future sinful reactions of his worshippers by mercifully accepting their offerings. So I guess I should say, and you repeat, I forgot that. A saintly person, just like fire, sometimes appears in a concealed form, and at other times reveals himself. For the welfare of the conditioned souls who desire real happiness, a saintly person may accept the worshipable position of spiritual master. And thus, like fire, he burns to ashes all the past and future sinful reactions of his worshipers by mercifully accepting their offerings. Purport. A saintly person prefers to conceal his exalted spiritual position, but to instruct the suffering people of the world, he sometimes reveals his own greatness. This is compared to a fire that sometimes burns unnoticed beneath ashes and sometimes blazes openly. As fire devours the ghee and other offerings given by the performers of sacrifice, similarly, a saintly person accepts the praise offered by his conditioned followers, knowing that in fact all praise is meant for the Supreme Lord, Krishna. Although an ordinary person immediately becomes puffed up and foolish when he is praised, such inauspicious tendencies within a saintly person are burned to ashes by his attachment to the absolute truth. In this way, he is just like fire. So I wanted to read that purport again. This verse is saying that saintly persons are very much like fire, in that sometimes fire can be dormant. It looks like it's just almost going out. You know, there's some ashes and there's some smoldering. And you may think, oh, the fire is finished, but if you touch it, it's very hot. If you take a stick and you stir a little bit, then the flames will come up. If you put some fuel in there, the flames will come up, you see. So all of us are saintly persons. Srila Prabhupada said that we have nothing but saintly persons among us. I remember one time, let me tell a quick story. 1975 at the San Francisco Rath Yatra. So Srila Prabhupada gave class 3 days in a row. And in the middle of the class, some of the children started to make some noise. And Prabhupada, he paused for a moment. One of the sannyasis, I don't know if it was Tamal Krishna Maharaj or Brahmananda Swami, he said, the women should take the children out. And so the ladies took the children out. And so then the Prabhupada gave class. So then the next day, Prabhupada is giving class. And again, the children are making some noise. And one of the sannyasis says, the women should take the children out. So the ladies took the children out. So then the third day, the verse was, who can be punishable? That's the name of the class. You can find it in Prabhupada's classes. Who is punishable? And so it was in July of 1975. And so Prabhupada is talking, in the verse it says that elderly people, women, children, and saintly persons can never be punished. And so at that time, the children started to make some noise. And the sannyasi said, the women should take the children out. And Prabhupada said, no. Let them stay. All we have here is elderly persons, that was him, women, children, and saintly persons. So who can be punished? So no one can be punished. No one here. And everyone started to laugh, and the ladies especially were giggling a little loud, you know. And so Prabhupada looked at the ladies and he said, but don't take advantage. It was a sweet Prabhupada moment, you know. So my point is that this room is filled with saintly persons, you see. You may not want to think of yourself as a saintly person, and that's because you're humble. Out of humility, you may think everyone is saintly, but I'm not. I'm just here associating with the saintly person so that maybe I can become saintly someday. But in doing that, that makes you a saintly person. When you come here, if you have the desire to walk through that door, to see what's going on, then the saintly person within you is starting to emerge, you see. We all are saintly people. We are all part and parcel of Krishna. And that part and parcel of Krishna wants to get out of this material covering of the body and the bodily consciousness. We want out. We don't know it, though. We're always wanting something. We're always hankering. I need, I want. We always feel like something is missing. If I do this, if I get a better education, or if I get a better job, or if I get, some people think if I get a better wife, if I get this, that, if I get a better car, then I'll satisfy this inner desire that I have, this hankering for more. We're always wanting more. Hardly ever do we ever feel any fulfillment. We feel fulfilled. It's like when I see people when they get a new, iPhone likes to come out with all these new numbers, and the number makes you feel good. If it's a 14, it may make you feel good. But then when you get a 15, that makes you feel even better, you see? And then after some time, you start to long for the 16, So there's this desire, and then it gets fulfilled, but it just passes through. And now I have more desire, you see? So material life is like that. Just hankering and lamenting. What we're actually hankering for is to be restored to our original Krishna consciousness, our dormant love for Godhead. We want that so badly, and therefore we feel like we're in a world of void. It's like it's always going to happen. Isn't it like that? All through our youth. Someday it will be this way. Someday it will be better. Someday I will be fulfilled, you see. So this is material life. What are we wanting? We're wanting our relationship with Krishna back. That's the only real thing that we've ever had, and it's the only thing worth any value that we've ever lost. Although we haven't fully lost it, it's just become dormant. It's like the ashes in the fire. That fire looks like it's out. So you can become a person who performs demoniac activities, so much material activity. You can look just like a real materialist and think like a real materialist. And you may even be convinced that that's what you are. You see, I'm richer than him, and tomorrow I'll be richer than him. You see, I'm hankering for more, and I'll work so hard to get so much. And then there was one story, I don't remember. Anyway, it was about some man who was wanting more and more and more. And Narada Muni came to visit him. And he said, "Oh, my dear Prabhu, I've come to get you, to take you to Vaikuntha. Would you like to go?" And Narada Muni's expecting this successful man to say, "Yes, yes. Well, what an opportunity." But he said, Oh, Muni, I really do want to go to Vaikuntha. This is so wonderful of you to offer this. But I haven't quite finished building my fortune for my sons. I want to leave them a much better fortune than I have now. My work is not finished. Can you come back later? Narada Muni said, this usually isn't offered very often. This is rare that you get a chance to drop it all. Go right now. And he said, later, please. So then Narada Muni came back a few years later, and the man was even wealthier, and it looked like he was completely successful. And so Narada Muni said, Prabhuji, would you like to come home with me now? Let's go to Vaikuntha. And the old man said, "Oh, Maharaj, yes, I would love to go. I have made so much money and had so much success. But I can't go right now because I don't know if my sons will watch after my fortune so well after I'm gone. I have to train them how to take care of the fortune, or they will squander it, or someone will steal it from them. They're just not that bright in that area." So Narada Muni says, "Oh, okay, I'll come back." So then Narada Muni came back a few years later. And so he asked one of the sons, where is your father? And the son said, "Oh, Muniji, my father, he has left his body. A couple of years ago, he left his body. He is gone now." And so Narada Muni was walking, and then this dog came up and started to bark. Bark, 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 bark. And then the dog started to talk to Narada Muni, and it was the old man. And he said, "I have come back in this body of this dog so that I can guard my fortune. My sons, they don't know how to take care of it." You see? So he had come back in the body of a dog, and he's barking whenever he was looking for someone. So even in the next life, he's worried about his fortune that he built, you see. And so then Narada Muni offered him, "Would you like to come to Vaikuntha now? Would you like to come with me?" And he said, "Oh no, I have to protect, I have to guard. I have to stay here, and I have to protect this fortune, or my sons will let someone steal it." And so Narada Muni said, "Okay." So then a few years later, Narada Muni came back. He's looking for the dog, and he's walking across the grain field that's owned by the family, the old man's family. And there comes this big cobra, big poisonous snake, and the snake is hissing. And then Narada Muni, he looks at the snake, and the snake starts to talk to him. It's the old man in the body of a snake. He left the body of the dog, now he's in the body of the snake. And he's protecting the grains because there are creatures who will come and eat the grains. And he's telling Narada Muni, I'm now in this body of the snake, and I'm guarding the grain fields that I used to own that I left to my sons. because I don't think they know how to keep the varmints and critters from eating it all. You see how deep this material contamination goes? And so the old man's sons were coming across the field to greet Narada Muni. And Narada Muni said, "Come, hurry, there's a poisonous snake. Kill it, kill it." So the sons came, "Oh, this big snake." And so they killed the snake. And as the snake's soul, as the spirit soul is leaving, Narada Muni said, "Now, let's go to Vaikuntha. Will you come?" And the old man said, "Yes, yes. Finally, take me to Vaikuntha." You see. So, even though we get so wrapped up, and you may think, well, but this is an unusual situation. This is just an unusual story. But I ask you, how unusual do you think this story really is? How many people do you think have taken birth after birth in the family as different animals in the house out of attachment, or thinking that, oh, the family can't live without me? You see, I built a fortune and I have to stay here. I have to come back to protect my fortune because, excuse me, it's all about me and my energy and what I can do. Not even thinking that this is all the energy of the Supreme Lord. No? Krishna says, "I am the ability in man." If you can do it, it's because of Krishna. It's not because of you. It's not because of how cunning or how smart or how educated you are, or how wealthy you are, or how handsome you are, or how well dressed you are. Or if you have an iPhone 16 or whatever. What's the number they have now? 17? Yeah, they have some. See, one day they'll be up to 1,000. And people will still be, "Oh, I've got to get that new one," you know. What do they do? I'm assuming these are really good phones. What do they do with the 16 when they get the 17? Do they sell it or something? Or just, no longer interested because I've got a new number. You see? So, no, this is not an uncommon story. It may manifest in many different ways, but so many people are so much desiring to live this material life and live it to the end. What is the end? Oh, I'll get satisfaction. Finally, I'll get the ultimate iPhone, or I'll get something that gives me total satisfaction. But they don't know that that's not even possible in the material world. This material world is not designed to give us that. We came here to get away from Krishna, to enjoy separately from Krishna. You see? So our love for Krishna has gone down into a smolder, you know. Our fire of love of Godhead has died down. It's like the fire that's underneath the ashes. It's still there, but it's just smoldering, you see. So enter the devotee of Krishna. The devotee of Krishna is able to take a stick and stir this fire up. Why, the devotee of Krishna can make this dormant fire of love of Godhead blaze like everything. He can make the fire gigantic. And you've all felt that, haven't you? Haven't you felt like when you met the devotees, when you read Srila Prabhupada's books, when you chanted Hare Krishna, that fire started to blaze? You became, you may have felt, some people feel like they've become a different person. I've had people say like that, you know, I feel like a whole different person now. Well, you are a different person. You're the original person that you always have been for eternity. The real you is starting to come out of the ashes of this material consciousness. You were thinking you were somebody that you were not. And you were looking for something that you didn't know what it was, and you thought it was somewhere here in this material world, but it was not. And now you've learned that. You see, to some degree, we've learned that. Many times, what happens is we have full faith in the material energy. We have full faith in Maya that we will get that new phone, or we'll get that fortune, or some satisfying life, some situation, fame, lots of profit, distinction. I'll be recognized in my field. And once I get all that, I'll be adored. And when I get that, I will feel complete. I'll be happy. I'll feel shanti. I'll be satisfied. You see? But it doesn't happen. It never has happened. We can look at the wealthiest people in the world. You know, who was this Jeff Bezos? He owns Amazon. At one time, he was the wealthiest man in the world. He had like $160 billion, or maybe $180 billion. I mean, now we've got Elon Musk, and he has like 700 billion or something like that. You see how this goes back and forth? So anyway, at the time, he was the wealthiest man in the world. He owned big yachts. Why, he could go enjoy like everything. You know, he could afford the most expensive cognac and the most expensive wine and food. And maybe I think he had like 3 different big yachts. And one of his yachts was the biggest one. He won, now I have the biggest yacht in the world. So maybe that gave him a few minutes or a few days or even a few months of satisfaction, happiness. But probably not. So, did he have a happy ending to the story? No, he ended up having the most expensive divorce in the history of this planet. His divorce cost him $80 billion. This was what he got. So, you know, now he's back working hard again, and he has another wife, and he's building his fortune back, you know. So this is sad when we look at it. This is very sad when we see these tormented souls trying so hard to enjoy. Now, if it doesn't work on the higher scale of the big dollars, how is it going to work for you? So you have a few crores of rupees, you know? Maybe you don't get the billions of dollars. Are your few crores that you have, is that going to do it for you? No. We're all smart enough to know this. We're fortunate enough that we've read Prabhupada's books. We've heard from saintly persons. You're surrounded by saintly persons. So you've heard and you've chanted, and now you are a saintly person. Now you may not be perfect yet, but you've taken steps. You're on your way. It's like when you were sick and you enter the hospital. You're still sick, but you're taking care. You're getting care. You're having therapy and medication. You're under a doctor's care. And what do we do when we find a qualified doctor? We realize that you know more about health than I do, so I surrender. I'll follow what you say. And so the doctor gives you medicine and therapy. Little by little, you become healthy. And at some point, you'll become so healthy, you're going to be dismissed from the hospital, you see. So this is this community, all of ISKCON, is like a hospital. You know, there are people here that had just checked in and they're still contaminated. They still have some material sickness. But they start to associate with you. They see how you live your life. And they become reconditioned. They were conditioned by the material energy, but because of your association and you're giving them Prabhupada's words and chanting with them, now they're being conditioned into spiritual life. A whole new personality seems to be coming up out of the ashes, you see, because of your association. Through your association, you're giving them Prabhupada's association. We associate with Prabhupada every day, don't we? Every day. We come to Guru Puja. We come to see Sri Sri Gornitai. We read Prabhupada's books. We hear. We chant. You see? So we're becoming more and more and more purified. So the person who checked into the hospital and he was still contaminated, at some point, he's going to be so well that the doctor says, it's time for you to be dismissed. You're cured. You see? So our movement is full of everyone, everything in between, from those who were almost pure to those who just started to become purified. So it's all saintly persons. Even a little bit of progress will save you from so much. A little bit of progress. That's why we are so eager to get people to come in here, come and associate with us. You see, we want to share this beautiful movement, Prabhupada's movement. We want to share this with everyone, you see. And so you may, as the verse says, you're a saintly person. It's just like fire, sometimes appears in a concealed form. So just because you're a saintly person doesn't mean that you go out telling the world. You know, if you have to go to the store or something, you don't walk in and say, I'm a saintly person. You know, you may go about in society just an ordinary man or an ordinary lady. They don't know, oh, this lady, she's a member of ISKCON. They don't know, why, she's a saintly person. This man is a saintly man. They don't know that. And that's okay with you. You're moving about, doing your business. But for the welfare of the conditioned souls who desire real happiness, a saintly person may accept the worshipful position of a spiritual master. At any moment, you should be ready to be a spiritual master. Perhaps you will be a Shiksha Guru to someone. Having Shiksha Guru is very important. We can't, when we have Diksha Guru, we can't always get association of our Diksha Guru. It's not always very easy, you see. So we need as many qualified Shiksha Gurus as possible. What is a Shiksha Guru? A Shiksha Guru is one who is aligned with your Diksha Guru. You see? They're aligned so much that they're like one and the same. You see? You can ask the Shiksha Guru a question and you'll get the Diksha Guru's answer because they're so much aligned. Therefore, they're one and the same. Right? They can't be different. That doesn't work good that way. For your benefit and for the society's benefit, Shiksha and Diksha have to be united, you see. And Shiksha is a senior, someone who's senior to you, and they're helping you. I was so fortunate that when I became a devotee, I had so many wonderful, potent Shiksha Gurus. I couldn't go see Prabhupada. It wasn't easy to just walk into Prabhupada's office. There was no way to text or call, you know. You could write letters, and Prabhupada would answer whenever possible. Prabhupada answered so many letters, but that took some duration. You see, your Shiksha Guru is right there. You can go, and you know that he's aligned with your Diksha Guru, so you can ask. I could ask my Diksha Guru, my Shiksha Gurus, and they would give me Prabhupada's words. They wouldn't give me their words or their opinion. These men were so aligned with Prabhupada, I knew it. It's like they had served Prabhupada directly. They knew, you see. Sometimes when the spiritual master leaves, people may, the disciple, at least at that time, no one had started to develop any different opinions from Srila Prabhupada. So, but you should be ready to be guru at any point. At any point. Shiksha, and at some point, be prepared to take Diksha Guru. Be prepared to spread this movement by giving yourself. You see? Give yourself. That's the only way you're going to be happy while you're in this material world. You give yourself to other people. You see? All the great thinkers of the world, Einstein used to say like that, a life of service. A life without service is not like not living at all. We perform service for other people. Not that we're greedy to become wealthy. It's okay if you have greed for wealth because you want to use it to spread this movement or to help other people in their Krishna consciousness. Help them in their spiritual consciousness. Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur said that it's not so good. It's better to build temples and spread this movement rather than open hospitals. Some people may think, oh no, we should open hospitals and we should. No, let's give them Krishna consciousness. That will end their suffering. So, this is a very wonderful verse. It made me think of all of you. You're all saintly persons. And maybe you don't think like you are, but you think of each other as being saintly person. Surely you don't think I'm a saintly person, but he is. I know he is. So if everyone is thinking that everyone else is a saintly person, that's okay. That's good. So I think I'll ask if there are any questions or comments at this point. No saintly persons have a question? There's a saintly person. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So thank you very much for a wonderful class. As it is mentioned that saintly persons are just like fire. So I was just contemplating that the fire of Krishna consciousness gets awakened in the heart by association of devotees. But due to attachment to sense gratification, it is like water. It removes that fire. That fire does not get blazed. We awaken the fire, but again we put water by engaging in sense gratification. So can you tell how we can give up sense gratification as practicing devotees, sadhakas, and like various types of sense gratification? Yes.
Very good question. What we need to do is remember that we are creatures of Ananda. We are Sat, Chit, Ananda. Sat, we are eternal. Chit, we are full of knowledge. And we are Ananda. We're entitled to constant bliss. So that's the nature of the part and parcel of Krishna that we are. We're entitled to it. And so we want it. But we don't have it. We're in this material world and we're identifying with our bodies. We're identifying with this world as the source of our Ananda. So even though there's no Ananda here, we want it. So that may manifest in the desire for so much material sense gratification. Gratify the senses is normal for the living entity. We gratify our senses in the liberated stage. When we're in Goloka Vrindavan, our senses are going to be so gratified. But it's transcendental sense gratification because we're offering everything to Krishna, and Krishna shares with us. He doesn't want it to be a unilateral position, one way. You give to me, and that's it. You give to me. You give, I take. That's not acceptable. Krishna doesn't think like that. You give, Krishna accepts, and he gives. You see? He wants that loving exchange. This is his nature. This is your nature. But you're not getting that now, so I want to enjoy what is around me. Why, material. I want to enjoy some material gratification. And that manifests, the only way that I can experience the world is through my five senses. Without my five senses, I don't even know if there's anything here. You see? So I mistake that I am this body, and I mistake that this world is my field of enjoyment, my field of activity. This is my home. So let me see, it's like if you're at home and you feel like I'm a little hungry, let me go see what's in the refrigerator. Let me go check in the cupboard to see what I have. So you're like that. You're in this material world. You're mistaking it for your home. You feel some hankering for something. Oh, let me see what I have here in my home to enjoy. There's going to be no success to that. You can't enjoy what's in this world. Now you can if you offer it to Krishna. If you find something here, you may find some nice milk and some really nice sugar and some nice rice and make some cure to offer to Krishna. Now, most of you will enjoy that, huh? When it comes off the altar, that's very nice. So we enjoy prasadam, and we should. Is prasadam sense gratification? Yes, it's transcendental sense gratification. You're gratifying your senses like everything. We come and we see the deities. You see, is that sense gratification? It sure gives you pleasure. You know, it seems like every time you see them, they seem like they're in a little bit of a different position. You see, you notice their forms are so attractive. And the pujaris are so expert. They're empowered by Gaura Nitai to dress them in such a way. And their garments are in such a way. You look and it's just gratifying. It's gratification. You see, through the senses. You hear the kirtan and you think, oh, who is leading the kirtan? That's so sweet. You see, this is sense gratification. Transcendentalized sense gratification. While you're enjoying on a higher level than you've ever enjoyed in your life. You see, the aroma of the flowers that are offered to Krishna and the agarbatti, the aroma. I wonder what, have you ever done this? You smell it and you wonder, I wonder what flavor incense that is. I wonder if they have it in the gift shop. That's marvelous. So you think we're not enjoying? You see? But we're enjoying from items that you may say, well, they came from the material world, but they become spiritualized, transcendentalized, because we offer them to Krishna with love. And so Krishna is sharing. You're offering me something, and I'm sharing it with you. This is Krishna's nature. He doesn't need your offering. He's complete within himself. So whatever you offer him, he's not, oh, I needed this. I want to take it all. No, he's like, oh, thank you. Here, you enjoy it with me. Let's enjoy it together. So we have to transcendentalize our sense gratification. And then when we do that, the sense gratification just multiplies. We enjoy on a higher level. That's been my experience. Is that a good answer? Good question. Yes. Hare Krishna. Good to see you again.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Thank you for
Oh, I
that.
thought it was. All right, you can go and then he can go. Now don't fight. Go ahead.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Thank you for wonderful class. You mentioned that when ISKCON is like a hospital, and when we come, we associate with the saintly people, and they give us the association of Srila Prabhupada, who's a very great saint, and we get transformed, and becoming whatever saintly we have, we try to help others also get that same association. But over a period of time, we observe that our ability to perceive the saintliness of other saintly devotees comes down. And the very fact which has caused us have the transformation, the inspiration is the saintliness of other devotees. So that aspect is coming down because of familiarity. So then we are unable to benefit much as we were in the beginning, having that appreciation and fondness for devotees. So how do we address this?
How do we what?
How do we address this? I mean, how do we have the same appreciation for the saintly devotees?
Oh, well, we just have to continue. We don't let that die. It's like the fire. Sometimes the fire seems like it's going out, and then you take a stick and you stir it up, and the fire blazes again. So we need some service together. You see, if we serve together with some devotee, then we can develop our appreciation of their saintly nature. You see, we have to see, and we have to spend time recognizing the qualities of the devotees around us. You see, now the devotees don't like. We're not seeking to be recognized, or we're not seeking any compliments. As a matter of fact, we would rather not get any. However, the devotees that observe them become so fulfilled in their association that they feel like they must offer some praise. But devotee doesn't want praise. So those that you associate with, they may want to give you some praise. So you should humbly accept it, knowing that within you, that this praise belongs to Krishna. He is my ability. Whatever I have done that might please some devotee is just an empowerment from the Lord. Because I'm willing to take up some service. If I'm a really good cook, if I cook something and everyone is like, oh, this is so delightful. This is so good. Right, this is the best I've ever had. You should humbly accept that, knowing that the ability to do that was Krishna. The Lord gave you that ability. He is your ability. Because you were surrendered to serve the devotee, He empowered you. So you know that. So that's like, as it says here in the purport, it's like, it says in that the spiritual master, the saintly devotee, when he receives some praise, it's burned to ashes because he passes it on to the Supreme Lord. So he doesn't keep it and start to think, oh, yes, I am so good. No, I'm just a servant, you see. And the Lord will work through you. He says, I am the ability in man. That means when you're showing some ability, that is Him. See, He's working through you. So He may make you look very great. And we're thinking, everyone else is thinking that, oh, you're very great. And we're thinking, I'm just a servant. Accept whatever praise you get graciously, but just understand they're actually praising the Supreme Lord, because it's His empowerment that's working through me. You see. So how do we maintain that? We have to always be recognizing the qualities of those around us. And that's an easy habit to develop. It's okay to recognize something that's maybe the quality of some service needs improvement. That's okay to recognize that. And gently and lovingly, we might tell someone that they need to improve here. But you do this so well and you do this so well. You give some, I think Srila Bhaktisiddhanta said that if you're going to criticize, you first give 10 compliments, 10 praises. You do this so nicely and you do that so nicely and you're such a good kirtan leader. But there's this one thing I noticed that you might work on, you see. So we share that with each other. Everything we do in compassion and love for each other. And the same when we're dealing with those on the outside world, we deal with them in compassion and love. You see, that's our nature as devotees of Krishna. Parts and parcels of Krishna behave that way. When you're not behaving that way, you're misbehaving. You get into material consciousness, envy, like that. Is that a good question? Good answer?
How do we recognize which sense gratificatory propensities to be given up and which to be spiritualized?
What's that again now?
The sense gratificatory propensities which we have.
Sense gratifications, propensities.
How do we recognize which one has to be given up and which one can be spiritualized, which one can be offered to Krishna?
We can offer practically anything to Krishna. You see? What about anger? Can we offer anger to Krishna? Krishna wanted Arjuna to get angry, didn't he? He wanted him to go kill a whole lot of people. A lot of people. So he wanted Arjuna to get into the mode of passion. He wanted, you can't do what Arjuna accomplished without a little bit of anger. You can't be like, oh, I'm sorry, Prabhu, but I have to kill you. This is going to hurt me more than it will hurt you. Please forgive me. By that time, you're dead. He had to become vicious, ghastly. Can you imagine what the scene was like on the battlefield of Kurukshetra? Heads rolling here and body parts there, blood everywhere. Something ghastly can be offered to Krishna, you see. So if we offer whatever we are offering under any particular circumstance with love for Krishna, then it's purified. And we should be able to tell under the circumstance when what we want to do cannot be offered to Krishna. You see, we should know, oh, I want to do this, but I can't offer this to Krishna. Under some circumstances, you might be able to offer it to Krishna. Like getting angry, just getting angry. How can you offer that to Krishna unless the circumstance calls for it? You see? So we always have to make our decision on whether or not we're going to perform some activity if that can be offered to Krishna under this circumstance. You see, sometimes anger can be offered to Krishna. But we have to know, is this a circumstance where I can offer my anger to Krishna? Will it benefit the person that I'm getting angry at? Or am I just going to let off a lot of steam? Am I just going to be offensive? You see, we don't want to be offensive to anyone. Devotees, non-devotees, animals, trees. We don't want to be offensive to anybody. Ants, you see. So we have to understand. We have to think like that. I feel some mood coming on me. Maybe I'm getting angry. I want to yell a little bit because I'm in the mode of passion. I didn't get proper respect. So I want to react. Can I offer that to Krishna? And if the answer is no, don't do it. You see? It never does make you feel better to get angry at somebody and yell at them. Some people think that it does, but it doesn't. And it may carry with it some reaction that you don't want. So let's keep our consciousness fixed on the fact that Krishna is always with us. You know, He's our eternal partner. He's with us every minute. Super Soul really is right next to us. We the Jivatma, we're here in the heart region. And that's true. That's a fact. And Krishna really is right next to us as the Paramatma. So Krishna's always with us. So we have to become conscious that Krishna is always with us, and that's Krishna consciousness, you see. And if we can keep that consciousness, then our behavior will fall in line, and our decisions will be for our own our betterment, as well as those around us. So we can't forget our dear partner, Krishna, who's always with us. And for a while, it may be real hard work to always remember Krishna in making all of our decisions. But in time, it becomes a habit. It's just a reaction, a reflex reaction, you see. Does that answer your question? Yes, Prabhu?
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you for the wonderful class. I wanted to ask that when we are hearing and we are in the association of devotees, we keep reminded of the spiritual values. But at times I experience that when we are engaged in our service or doing some chores, we're passionately engaged sometimes. So at that time, the consciousness is not so spiritual. We don't realize, but it becomes materialistic, and then the negative behaviors or wrong perceptions come. So how do we guard when we are doing our daily services or chores? Like either it could be in the temple or outside when people are working, whatever. But that's the time when the consciousness takes a lot of toll because of so much materialism, or our consciousness is not so pure. So how should we guard in that situations?
Well, we have to be our own best friend, you know. So a good friend is one that you can ask advice from, and they'll tell you the truth. You know, maybe you did something that was wrong, and you ask a friend who's not a really good friend, was I wrong in dealing with this person? And they'll just patronize you. They'll just say, oh no, you're a good person. Don't feel bad. That's a bad friend. A good friend will say, yeah, you were in Maya. You were wrong. You see, they give you the truth. I remember back in the late 70s in Dallas, my godbrother Gopal Bhatta Prabhu was there. And he was that kind of friend. He would tell you when you are wrong. And so many devotees in the community, whenever they wanted some advice, they would go to Gopal Bhatta because he would tell them. If you're in Maya, he'll tell you. If you're right, he'll tell you. But a lot of people will say, oh no, don't feel bad. You're good. You meant well. You know. So that's absolutely, not only is it useless, it's like drinking poison to go to someone who will patronize you and tell you what will make you feel warm and fuzzy. That is poison. Don't drink it. Go to someone who will tell you the truth with love and compassion. So can we treat ourselves like that? It's good to have a friend that will treat us like that. Can we treat ourselves like that? Can we say to ourselves, you were wrong. That was wrong. And don't make excuses. Don't try to rationalize. Well, he made me do it. He was really being a jerk. He deserved it. When you're wrong, you're wrong. You need to know when you're wrong. This is valuable information. You need to know when you're right. But when you're wrong, you really need to know. Otherwise, how can you and how will you ever correct it? You see? So we need to be our own advocate and be honest with ourselves. You see? Do you want people to be honest with you? It probably upsets you if someone is not honest with you, doesn't it? You know, if somebody is not honest with you, you don't like that, do you? You think, oh, I don't know if I want to associate with this person anymore because they're not honest. So then, why wouldn't we be honest with ourselves? We demand it from everyone else. You see? So we're going to have to associate with ourselves. So let's be honest with ourselves. Be your friend. This is a good way to live. Just tell yourself. It's good if you can catch yourself before you do something that you will regret. No, that's the wrong thing. Don't react that way. That's best. But if you make a mistake, at least admit it to yourself. I made a mistake. I should not have done that. I should not have said that. I should not have misbehaved in that way. You see. And maybe you need to tell someone from time to time, please forgive me. I'm sorry. I was trying to be in service, but, you know, I got a little carried away. Please forgive me. I'm sorry. And if you don't forgive me, I'll understand. I'll understand. But I'm asking because I don't want this to affect our friendship. You see, it's a good way to live. So, does that answer your question? Good question. Anything else? Okay. thank you all so much. It's wonderful to be back in Newtown. Tomorrow I'm heading to Mayapur. I'm going home to Mayapur. I hope to be back here sometime in January. I'm going to try to come back. And I'll be leaving India in late February. So I hope to see you at least one more time between now and then. But I'll come here before I leave anyway. Spend a couple of days before I get on the plane to head out. So thank you all for your association. All glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Hare Krishna. So today our Rishabh Prabhu, he will share some book distribution realization. Yes. He will share the realization for book distribution.
Hare Krishna. So many times when we do book distribution, sometimes we have a very long conversation with the person whom we are trying to convince to get the book. But during that long conversation, sometimes we forget to pray to Srila Prabhupada. We think that by our material skills, means by our speaking skills, by our ability, we can convince that person. But many times it happens that even after convincing for so long, that person doesn't purchase the book. But I have experienced that many times we just show the book to some person and he just purchase it immediately. And many times people just come to stall by their own when we are praying to Srila Prabhupada, we are praying to Krishna. Then persons immediately come to stall and they purchase books immediately. So I realized that it is not that our material skills by which we can distribute Srila Prabhupada books. It is by mercy of Srila Prabhupada only which can inspire the person in their heart to purchase that book. And another realization I had that yesterday after distributing book for hours, actually my body was very tired. I was feeling very fatigued. But still after distributing Srila Prabhupada books, I was feeling a kind of joy inside my heart because I was acting for the mission of Srila Prabhupada for pleasing Krishna. So it was like transcendental sense gratification. Very good.